Hey guys, my name is Haley, and today I'm going to be filming the spring reading tag. I was tagged by Mary from Happily Ever Esch, and there are a couple of questions to this tag. It is seasonal, so I'm trying to get to it early because I'm really behind, but let's get started. Question number 1, what book are you most excited to read in the next coming months? For that, I'm gonna go with the Wandla trilogy by Tony DiTerlizzi. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. But me and Kate from Kate File are actually planning on buddy reading this first book at least. And she's trying to turn it into a read-along, so if you would like to join us in reading this series, please do. And I'm really excited to read these. I've heard great things from Reagan from Peru's Project and a couple of other people. Question number 2 is what book makes you think of spring for whatever reason? And for that, I'm gonna go with Tandem and Tether by Anna Jarzab. I heard about these books on Taylor from Bookaflix Taylor's channel, and honestly, I may have bought them because of the covers. Because if that's not spring, I don't know what is. They're beautiful, the spines are beautiful. This one's like a light blue, and this one's a light pink, if you can't tell in the lighting. They have birds on them. I honestly don't really know what these are about, but I'm very excited to read them. So these books remind me of spring just because of the covers, to be honest. Question number 3 is, the days are getting longer, what is the longest book that you've read? For the longest time, the longest book that I had ever read was Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which is 870 pages, until this past year in October when I read It by Stephen King, which in this edition is 1,090 pages. So, this is the longest book that I've read to date. It's even longer than The Wise Man's Fear, which I'm currently reading, and is 1,000 pages. So, Stephen King, always. His books are incredibly long most of the time. Question number 4 is what book would you recommend to brighten someone's day? For that, I'm gonna go with the Lois Lane books by Gwenda Bond. I love these books. They're the cutest things ever. This is the first one, Lois Lane Fallout, and the second one is Lois Lane Double Down. These are some of the prettiest books ever. Not only do they have pretty front covers and dust jackets, but underneath the cover is gorgeous. And it has the cutest romance ever. There's a whole virtual reality part to it. If you like superheroes, recommend. If you like contemporary, even recommend. But it's Lois Lane, she's in high school, she works for her high school's newspaper. There are sort of like superhero, supernatural things going on, and she's trying to solve all these mysteries, and she's having an online flirtationship with someone named Smallville Guy on an app that they use to chat. And he's very mysterious, he won't tell her who he is, but if you've seen the TV show Smallville, you might have an idea of who he is, or if you know who Lois Lane is with traditionally, you might know. But I love this series. I can't wait for the next book to come out, and I think it's the cutest thing ever, and I think they would definitely brighten anyone's day. Question number 5 is, spring brings new life in nature. What is a book that doesn't exist but you wish that it did? So this is kind of a weird answer. I don't know if anybody else would want this book, but I personally wish I would have had this book, and I think some people that I know would like it. And that is a book that it could be YA or more new adult, but not new adult in the whole, like, graphic material, like sex scenes and stuff, but new adult in age range. I would like it to be something like someone in their early 20s, like late teens, 19 to 24, 25. And I would love for it to be, like, in modern day, but focused on a main character who is a Christian and who has her head on right, and just, like, a good role model for girls of this age, or even like teenage girls, to look forward to. Because there's so many contemporaries, which a lot of the time I get annoyed with because they're horrible role models for young girls, and that's the kind of books that young girls are reading. So I would love just a book with a girl who has her head on right, she knows who she wants to be in God, or she's learning who she wants to be in God and serving in his kingdom, and there isn't a ton of, like, I don't even know what the main conflict would be. I just really want a book with that sort of character in it that isn't a bad role model, because I feel like there's so many bad role models, and like girls are reading it thinking that that's what they want to be when it's really not what God wants you to be. I don't know, I'm getting very like preachy, but I just wish that there was something like that for like the younger girls in my youth group to read. And I don't know, maybe one day I'll write something like that, because I don't want it to be like a self-help book or like Christian nonfiction. I need like an actual fiction thing, but with based around that kind of character, like wholesome character for them to look up to and want to become. I don't know if any of that made any sense. Like, I have what I want in my head, I just don't know how to, like, say it. I just wish there was something more like that, and that was something more popular. Because I know a lot of Christian fiction with, like, girls probably around that age or, like, in their 20s is, like, based earlier on, like in the early 1900s or 1800s, but I think something based more now would be way more relatable for a lot of young girls especially, so yeah, that's my answer. Question number 6 is, spring is a time for growth. How has your reading changed over the years? So I've always been a reader. I always did read a lot, especially in middle school, probably almost as much as I do now, but there was a time in high school where I really didn't read that much at all, and I kind of wish I had, because I feel like that's an age where you need a lot of books and a lot of things that can be learned from books. But I think since discovering BookTube, my reading has changed a ton. Like, I read constantly now. There's never a time where I'm just not reading something or not looking forward to reading something, so I would definitely say I finally found my like regular reading pace. Question number 7 is, we're a couple of months into the year. How's your reading going? My reading is going very well, actually, and I'm very happy about that. I've read 33 books last check on Goodreads, and I'm currently reading 2 or 3 right now, not including the Hamilton biography, because that would be 4, but honestly, I forget about that I'm reading that a lot of the time, but I'm really enjoying all the books I'm reading. There's only been a couple that I haven't really liked that much, which I really think is interesting. Just shows that I'm actually reading things that I'm very interested in. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it's going. I have my Goodreads goal set at 100 books, and I'm pretty sure I'm quite ahead of schedule, so I'm very happy with my reading so far this year. And question number 8 isn't really a book-related question, I don't think, and that is, do you have any plans coming up in the next couple months of the year? And yes, I do. My youth group actually goes on a trip every May, like the end of May, middle of May, and we go to a ranch and we just spend a couple days there, do like worship sets, and it's just our youth group. And we have like a sizable youth group. There's probably around 60 to 70 of us. A lot of the time people will bring friends, and it's like our own little getaway. A lot of the time we're not allowed to use our phones. Like, it's just a nice way to start off the like summertime where we're doing a ton of stuff for our youth group and at our church and stuff. So I look forward to it every year. It's actually one of my favorite trips that we go on. And before I know, some people might ask, our youth group is very much like not just teenagers. It's like from 7th grade, so like 12 through 30, because we have a hyphen age, which is what we call our 18 to 30-year-olds usually. And I am part of the hyphen age, being 23. But all of our youth group is very involved in our church and that kind of thing, and those retreats that we go on are honestly one of my favorite things, and I look forward to it every single year. This will be my 5th or 6th one going on, and I just love it. And yeah, that is the spring reading book tag. I'm gonna tag a couple people, probably my usual people. I'm gonna tag Oshina from Oshina Gotta Read 'Em All. I'm gonna tag Rhea from Rhea Reads. And I'm going to tag Tina from the Never Ending Bookshelf. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see all of you guys next time.